Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nicole and I'm a second year medical student studying in Hong Kong. Today I wanted to share the things I've been doing to tie up loose ends and jumpstart my summer break. I definitely felt like there was a void within me when suddenly I could finally wake up in the morning and the first thing that popped into my mind wasn't the things that I needed to study that day. If you also recently ended your semester and you don't know what to do with all the time you have now, I hope you find this video helpful. Number 1. Pick up what you set down. When exam season hit, I'm sure many of you guys also had to put aside some part of your daily routine or habits in order to make more time for studying. Maybe it was drawing, playing an instrument, or just gaming. For me, it was to some extent reading and exercising. I definitely toned down the intensity of my exercising and reading books just completely went out the window. Looking back in retrospect, this probably contributed to part of my burnout, and I would not recommend abandoning part of your daily routines in order to make time for studying because your own mental health is also very important. Now that exams are over, I've gotten back into working out and I've picked up the book that I left off with before exam season hit. It's really the best feeling in the world, reading on my Kindle and completely losing myself in a novel without feeling guilty about not studying for an exam or having other obligations hanging over my head. In general, picking up the things that you neglected and put aside during exam season is a great way for you to ease into your summer break. And it's also a way for you to take care of yourself mentally after the stressful period that you've been through. Number 2, organizing your desktop. Now, organizing my desktop was actually something I did throughout the exam season, each time after I finished an exam. I had all my relevant files for that class in one folder on my desktop, and after each exam, I would move that folder into the big year 2 folder that I have on my desktop, and it was just a signal for me to mentally move on from that course and prepare for the next upcoming exam. Now that exams are over, I've also reorganized some of the files and deleted unnecessary files within each folder, and I've moved everything into a one big file called cuhk. Now this folder holds all my files relevant for university, and it's a nice way to give myself some closure for the end of year 2. For one, doing this clears up my desktop, and number 2, it signals for me that summer break has officially started and I can loosen up and relax now. Number 3 is cleaning up storage. On the note of organizing files on my desktop, I've also been clearing and deleting miscellaneous images, documents, and apps on my phone. My phone is absolutely cluttered as I think I've used up around 99.9% of my storage, and that's not good for the battery or the speed of my phone. First, I went to the settings app and checked out how much storage I had left. I basically had none. Then I decided to delete a bunch of apps that I usually don't use, but I just randomly downloaded throughout the year. Afterwards, I moved on to clearing up messages. I finally took the jump and decided to only preserve messages for 1 year. That definitely helped clear up some of my storage. Finally, I moved on to the main culprit of my lack of storage space: images. That's still a work in progress. Overall, however, clearing up storage on your devices is a nice way to declutter your life and say goodbye to the old school year. Now it's time for summer break. Number 4, journal and reflect. If you don't know already, I'm a huge fan of journaling. After each exam, I actually like to journal about how I felt about the exam, what went well, what didn't go well, what I should have done, and things I could do next time in order to make sure I didn't make the same mistakes. Journaling helps me find clarity and sort out all the thoughts that are floating around in my mind. It also helps me learn from my mistakes and pinpoint what I can do differently next time in order to feel more prepared for the exam. I honestly wasn't feeling so great after my last exam on physiology, And journaling helped me take a more objective stance on what I did, how I did, and what I could have done, the things that were in my control and what wasn't out of my control. And I find that journaling also just helps me resolve the conflicts I have internally and come to terms with what has happened. If you feel great after an exam, journal to celebrate for yourself. You can also write about how you want to reward yourself, what you're looking forward to, and set some goals for yourself for the summer break. Journal for clarity or just journal to document. Number 5, active relaxation. So the day after exams, I actually had a day camp scheduled, and it was honestly perfect timing and a great way for me to actively relax. The day camp was a team building day camp, which I initially thought sounded a bit bogus, but throughout the day as I went through the different activities at the camp, it really changed my perspective on what team building activities can do and what being a good team player means to me. Beyond the things I learned from that event, it was also a great way for me to physically get moving and relax and get my mind away from exams. The activities in the camp involved some physical activity and some problem-solving skills that worked a part of my brain that hasn't been worked during the exam season. It was a completely different form of thinking because normally for my med exams, it's a lot of memorization of pathways or diseases, whereas for the day camp, it was more problem-solving skills and thinking outside of the box. In general, I would recommend just going outside for a nice walk without listening to anything in order to unwind from the exam season, or blast some heavy metal music if that's what works for you. In general, I highly recommend getting a good dose of physical activity in order to get ready for summer and to take your mind off of school. So I hope you found my experience and tips helpful. If you did, be sure to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button down below. I'll be trying to make more frequent videos during this summer break, so look out for that, and check out this video here for more information about what it's like being a medical student in Hong Kong. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.